Hello, my friends. Have you ever looked at your own story and thought, who would want to hear this? Maybe you thought your story was too ordinary, or you thought it was not dramatic enough, or you thought, I'm just living my life. What could I possibly share from that? Today, I want to remind you of something important, and that is that your story is not too small. The things you have lived through, the things you have learned from, walked away from, the things you have built, lost, questioned, and survived have shaped. All those things have shaped something valuable in you. Sometimes we think our story only matters if it is big and dramatic, but the most meaningful stories are the honest ones. The season when you had to keep going quietly, the time you had to start again, the moment you realized that something no longer fit, the lesson that you learned after years of doing what you thought you were supposed to do, and the courage it took to admit you wanted something different. Those stories mattered, not because they make you the center of attention, but because they can become a bridge for someone else. I have been reflecting on that more and more as I continue shaping Ninu Nudgings. So much of what I share now did not come from theory, it came from life. It came from work, change, family, growth, disappointment, and personal development, spiritual nudges, and learning to trust myself in new and different ways. And it also came from being willing to look back and ask myself, what did that season teach me? That is where so much wisdom lives. Sometimes we think encouragement, content, or contribution has to come from something brand new. But maybe your next message is hidden inside something you have already lived. Maybe your next beginning is connected to the lesson that you almost overlooked. And just maybe what feels like just my life to you is exactly what someone else needs to hear. That is why your story becomes powerful when it is connected to a lesson. Not every story needs to be shared, and not every detail needs to be told, but the lessons can serve. A story becomes meaningful when it helps someone feel less alone, or more seen, or more encouraged, or more willing to take one next step. So today, ask yourself, what have I lived through that taught me something valuable? What did I realize because of that season? And who might be encouraged by that lesson? Those three questions can help you see your life differently. They can help you turn memory into meaning, and they can help you stop dismissing the wisdom that you carry. Your story doesn't have to be perfect to be useful, it does not have to be dramatic to be valuable. And someone may need the lesson that you learned quietly. Someone may need the encouragement that you earned through your experience. And someone may need to hear that beginning again, it is still possible. Your Ninu nudging for today is this: your life becomes content, encouragement, and service when your lessons become a bridge for someone else. Today, write one sentence that begins with, one thing my life has taught me is. That one sentence may reveal more than you expect. I will see you the next time.